Having shown that the process can work in different places, the big question is next, how do we spread it across the Niger Delta if people indeed want it to happen? And it seems that many people do want it to happen, and we know that Pro-Natura can't do it all. So that became another challenge. We came up with two ways, two things that we should do. One was to develop the idea of the Institute for Sustainable Development. The Institute is supposed to be the centre of a group of institutions. Now at the centre we want it to be a fairly small but very good centre of excellence, which links up with the universities and with other agencies, institutions which can, if you like, accredit the sort of work that we're developing. The idea of the Living University is based on something that came out of Vietnam. Save the Children Fund developed it, and we've taken it and adopted it and adapted it to our own use. The Living University isn't a proper university. We even write it with a small L and a small U and put it in inverted commas just to show that we're not trying to say that it's a real university. But in a way it's a very interesting concept because it's the campus of the Institute for Sustainable Development. The village, in fact, is the classroom, and the teachers are the villagers, and they teach what they have learnt themselves about development. The students at the Living University are people who come from outside, and very often they're people who come from other local government areas, other communities, people who come and see people exactly like themselves doing something different, and they learn from their peers. All sorts of people have been passing through and having a look at what happens in the Casa, and the idea is that we shall have a number of these living universities scattered around the Delta, all of them campuses of this Sustainable Development Institute, and all of them teaching how people can help themselves in the same way.
I saw Akasa as a mini country in Nigeria, because all the processes, the level of development, the activities that are geared towards development, they are things that Nigeria has not even learned about, and yet they are happening in the what government will call the most remote part of the country. It's amazing, it's wonderful, and I have learned that if people will be mobilized, if people will be sensitized, if people will be carried along, there is nothing they cannot do. And because of that, I believe that this development program can be replicated anywhere in Bayelsa State. In fact, this is what the people need to ensure their personal development.
Now, it seems the gospel is catching on. The same oil industry, most of it at least, is now thinking in a different direction. They know that the old method of doing business did not pay anybody. They are suffering the backlashes, and they are doing things differently. After all, most of the efforts, even at Akasa and so on, is also supported by oil industry. The efforts at Oron, Eastern Ubolo, and Opobonkoro are supported by oil giants like Total, Statoil, Nexen, and so on. That means the oil industry knows where to go. The issue now is that for those who are doubting and who still want to do business the old way, and some still do so, they have the choice of encouraging these people who will carry guns and shoot people, and who will go there and threaten them, close down their stations and fight them. And the opposite is to put out just a small fraction of what they used for coercion into serious capacity building the people, cooperating with them so that they get into interactive participation and take their destiny into their hands, where the oil industry, government and people come together to work for their development, and you have peace, you have security, and there is business. Oil business will continue as oil business. Industries didn't come here to take over, to become surrogate government, so they will now take over. They will get into their real business of exploring and exploiting oil, while the people come into center stage and bring about good government that is responsive to the needs of the people. The choice is theirs, either to carry guns and collapse at the brink when it comes, or to support development, a sustainable development, and have peace and security.